One of the things I usually tell people is when you make a decision to move from your own country to another country, you must be aware of some of the rules and regulations. There are some of the rules and regulations, some of the laws in certain countries might not be compatible to your lifestyle, might not be compatible with your traditions, might not be compatible with your laws in your home country. So when you go to these countries, you must adhere to their rules and regulations. I'm going to talk about the issue of Achraf Hakimi today. I'm not talking about the soccer part. I'm talking about the issue of immigration. I'm talking about the issue of regulations and traditions in Western Europe, or rather overall Western countries. So Achraf Hakimi has been in the news for the past week. What made the big news is the issue of the divorce and the issue about how much money he has, how much wealth he has, how much he has been able to outsmart the system, and so forth. And some people, especially men, praising this guy for what he did. For those who do not know what has happened, I'll give you a brief of what happened, and I'll explain to you why now people are thinking that this guy is smart, has outmastered the system, but I'm telling you, you are very wrong. Western system cannot be outsmarted by someone who is going to do things in this nature. Because if what he did is the correct truth, or the fact what he did, that means everyone could be able to do the same. You are not the first person to run away from your responsibilities. So here it is the situation. Achraf Hakimi was born and raised in the city of Madrid in Spain. But originally, the parents are from Morocco. That's why he's eligible to play for Spain and is eligible to play for Morocco. He grew up playing for Madrid Academy and he played for Real Madrid. Then he went to Dortmund. Now he's playing for PSG. But for the national team, at the senior level, he chose to play for Morocco. Then there is this woman, the wife of Hakimi. The wife was born in Spain, grew up in Spain, was a supermodel in Spain, already famous more than Hakimi back in the day. Remember, this woman is about 12 years older than Hakimi, and he was supermodel already, worth over 2 million at the time they got married. So it was not just a person, you just go there, was having a name by herself. So that's another thing. But this woman who is married to Hakimi, originally, the parents are from Tunisia. So when you are immigrant, let's say like myself, my kids are here. Sometimes it is easier to connect my kids with the kids of another person if they're all the parents are from the same country. So I believe having both a background from North Africa, one from Tunisia, one from Morocco, and both grew up in Madrid or in Spain, it brings another chemistry that, I don't know, they dated for 2 years and they got married. And then they lived under marriage for 2 years. So they started seeing each other 2018, whatever. Then they divorce after 2 years of marriage, then they divorce. In between these 2 years of marriage, they have 2 children already. One was born in 2020, one was born 2022. So they have 2 children. So recently, the end of March, the wife filed for the divorce in Spain. I mean, in France. The reason for the divorce are 2 things. Number one is the issue of cheating. The wife was away from France, from Paris. So the wife was with kids, went to Spain, whatever, for vacation, whatever, went with the children. Hakimi, several times, according to the wife, was bringing various women at their home and having relationship encounters, sexual intercourse, whatever. So there was the cheating of that biggest part. Not only cheating outside, but bringing the women in the house. That was the number one reason. And number two, recently there is allegation. I'm saying allegation because Hakimi, usual, there is this issue, like many people, they are going to claim certain soccer player has raped them, but when the fact come out, like in Mendy, we have seen other cases, maybe it is true, maybe it is not true. So is still the case, someone reported, whatever, there is the issue of investigation and the things will be going to the court. But is innocent until otherwise when the court decides, so is innocent. But those two reasons were the reasons as to why the woman decided to file for the divorce. So that is the reason, because there are some claims in different groups who have been chatting with the people. They say, oh, this woman was gold digger. Why after 2 years you just want to ask for the divorce? Remember, the reason for the divorce is infidelity of the husband, plus the issue of rape allegations. Those are the two reasons as to why there is that issue. Let us start with that one. So the woman has 100% right to file for the divorce. Remember, in our countries, in some of the Middle Eastern culture, sometimes women don't go front to ask for the divorce because of the culture, because of the traditions, depending on the situation, and because of the shame some people have when the situation happens, all the blame comes to the woman. But that is different from Western world. So even if you get married to a person from the same country, if you live in Spain, the law of Spain of marriage will be able to do that. If you live in America, they will follow the law and regulation of that country. This is what I emphasize to people. If you get married to someone from your own country, you come to America, don't assume that the laws of the marriage will be Tanzanian law, will be Kenyan law, will be Ugandan law, will be Saudi Arabian law. No, it is law of the United States of America. That's why even when you are filling for the visa form, whether for the visiting, whether for immigrant becoming green card holder, whatever it is clearly stated in the visa form. Are you coming to the United States for the purpose or intentions of practicing polygamy? If you say so, you will be not allowed to come to America. So each country have regulations. Some countries, for Muslim, they are allowed to have more than one wife. Or the law of the country, they allow the tradition, or by law, like in Kenya, whatever it is. But that is not in the Western world. So if you decide to come to the Western world, first and foremost, you have to agree to their regulations. If you don't want their regulations, go back to your home country and stay there. So these people, basically, they are from Spain, though the parents are from another country. My son Benedict is from the United States. Yes, the father, me, I'm from Tanzania. Yes, have the background in Tanzania. They can, whatever, like Hakimi played for the national team, but was not raised in, where? In Morocco. That's why even if you, now you go to watch on the pictures of Hakimi and the mother, they were different. The mother is in hijab, follow all the tradition, but Hakimi is different lifestyle, is in the beach with whatever, the different lifestyle like any other guys, famous guys like Ronaldo, whatever, the lifestyle is the same thing. So, the wife filed for the divorce. According to the different information we see on the news, that the wife, after filing, because wanted half of the money, whatever it is, they say they came to find out 80% of the salary of Hakimi from PSG. Remember, he gets paid about 215 to 250,000, $250,000 per week. So per month, he's getting almost $1 million. That's what he's getting per month from PSG. That 80% of the money goes direct to the mother on mother's account. And then most of the assets are written on his mother's name. For that case, the Hakimi doesn't have enough money. That the woman has worth over 3 million and the Hakimi is currently poor. Then there are multiple news that are coming. People, and they are saying, oh, now because the Hakimi has lower money, the wife must get the money from Hakimi. I mean, Hakimi must get the money from the wife. No, it doesn't work that way. Why? If you go to read all these reports, are from mostly the African media or from Middle Eastern media. They are not from the Western perception of this situation. So I'll give you some hints on what is going to happen in this case when it comes to the court. So whether the woman wants the money or doesn't want the money, when you go to the divorce court, they have to make the decision of the following things. Number one, the dissolution of the marriage. But number two, they will talk about the issue about the money or the assets, whatever, to make that decision. Whether you want it or not, it has to put in the judgment that you don't want or you want, whatever, before we go, how they're going to split. Number three, the issue of children, the decision of custody and what percentage of custody has to be made by the court. So because of those kind of various things, so let's go back. The wife has no authority to request the money of Hakimi he made before the marriage. We are talking about, even I believe, what she wants, which is her right, is to request the division of the money, distribution, whatever, dividing the money, or the assets, the resources, whatever the money they make together is in marriage as husband and wife. That is everywhere. That's why when you come to Western world, there is something called prenup. Prenup is a prenuptial agreement. Most of the famous people do that. Whether it's right or it's not right, but that is people do. And the people confuse in some, my colleagues say, for instance, in Tanzania, they say, oh, in Western world, they have agreement in the marriage. No, it's not agreement that we will be married for 2 years. No, or we'll be married for 5 years. Marriage is forever. If the divorce comes, the prenup is agreement before the marriage that how are you going to distribute the asset if we get divorced. Those are the things you make. And in this case, there was no prenup situation. So the wife is entitled to have half of what has been earned in the marriage. So whatever they, even the wife, what you got, they'll put together, they will split half for those 2 years. That's number one. So the question is, Hakimi putting the account of the mother, will that make the money not from the mother? In African context, we think that, oh, because you put the money goes to the mother's account, that is mother's money, not my money. No. Here in the United States, for example, if my salary is 50,000, or it's just let's use the simple way, $100 per week. As a person, as an employee, I have authority that I choose whether the entire 100% to go to one account, or I can say 10% put to my son's account, 20% put on me, 30% put on my mother. I have that authority to give it how many accounts they can distribute that amount of money. But that doesn't mean when it goes there, that is their money. Remember, the money is mine. That's why there is something in the United States, for instance, it's called a W-2. That is what the tax authority will tax me. They're not going to tax them first. The money comes to me. So if that money, I decide to put on account A or account B, still that money is my money. I said, just hold that money for me. That is how it's going to be considered. That's why Hakimi will be the one paying the tax for the $1 million on a monthly basis is going to get from PSG. So to go to the mothers, did you give that mother as a gift? If yes, did the mother receive that money and put into the authority, like in the United States we have IRS, in Kenya or Tanzania we have Tanzania Revenue Authority, we have Kenyan Revenue Authority, we have Uganda Revenue Authority. Each country has their IRS. So did the mother, when she received that money, receive as a gift? If it's as a gift, did you put into the taxing, like this is the gift? And then if you receive the gift, you have to pay tax on that one. So I can only be paid the tax. And then the woman, you receive the gift, you pay another tax. Because you get the money, it's income you receive. Remember, the mother is not a charity. If it's a charity, you must have a charitable status. And there are regulations to be a charitable status. When you receive the money as a charity, there are regulations. You not just give the money, oh, I got the money. Even now, in the United States, IRS has passed the new law that if I send you $600 into your personal money, just as a gift, that one will be taxed. $600 on PayPal, $600 on Cash App, all those kind of things. You must know the regulations. So by doing that one, doesn't take you away. So they will go and look about how much you got. So if you put the money on your mother's account without coin that is officially you gifted the person, and the person received the gift and you pay the tax as a gift, it will look like you are trying to evade taxes. That will be number one. So now there will be another investigation. Did you try to play the game of tax evasion? Remember, Messi, Ronaldo were caught in this kind of situation about the issue of tax evasion, tax fraud, whatever it is, in Spain. And they're both found guilty. So, you want to tell me Hakimi has more resources more than Messi, has more resources more than Ronaldo, has more lawyers than those people? So don't bring to me that, oh, this is a smart play. Do you want to tell me that all people in Europe, they are so stupid to not like putting the name of their children, name of their parents into their salary? The law will not be that stupid, it's that easy. That if I want not to have something, when I divorce, I put my mother in Tanzania, I put the salary to go to my mother, and I get the money from another side. They are not that stupid. Remember, these countries, they are very good into taxing. You can do any mistake, you can get away. You can get away from murder, but not the tax. Tax is a very serious issue in Western world. So, whether like or not, Hakimi cannot run away from that. I don't know about the other assets, but to be something else about the issue about when the issue about trust, about other things, but directly the salary. I'm talking about the salary part. The 1 million comes each month. That will be a difficult issue to run away, but it will involve the issue of because I've seen even some people are discussing about tax evasion. Are you trying to avoid the taxes? Are you trying to put the money there? But again, to put the money there, was your intention? Try when the divorce comes, you are going to the wife not to get the money. If that is the case, then the issue of human rights come there. The issue of women's rights come there. How will it come? You are the person intentionally trying to run away from your responsibilities. They'll go there and they'll find a way to put in a public opinion that you are a woman beater, you are someone who doesn't want women to progress. They'll put everything about women in front of you. So what is going to happen will be the public pressure of Western Europe will be towards you, and you might lose all the endorsements. You might even be kicked out of PSG. PSG is the team Messi, Ramos, Neymar are playing in France. So for that pressure, just remember, Zuma, the player for Chelsea, and then he was playing for Western Ham, whatever, something like that. He just pushed his cat away, and his young brother, also playing for in Belgium, whatever, was laughing and recording. They lost all the endorsement. They got big punishments just for the cat. Just assume if you do this one on intentional that the woman will not get the money because you are intentional having parties with other women in your own house, do some marital issues which are not allowed in the Western world. This cheating thing, you can do those in Africa, not in America, not in Europe. Those are big issue when it comes to the Western world. So in that case, even if, let's say, you run away from the criminal case or whatever case it will be, but the public pressure, it will be big. No company will come to invest or to give you Nike endorsement or whatever. It will be a disaster. And some countries or some teams will not be able to have you in their team because of the stupid thing which you are trying to run away. And that will be about the issue of money. But there is the issue of child support. So child support, you cannot run away to say, oh, my 80% of the money goes to my mother. No, child support is going to be calculated on the income end. What is your salary? On that salary, they are going to determine a percentage from your salary. That's what they're going to do. They are not going to look about what is left in your bank account. When is it going to be distributed? You give to your mother, you give to whatever. They don't do that. Out of 250, $250,000 per week, $1 million in a month, how much percent are they going to take from that for 2 children? Just to give things in perspective, Charlie Sheen is one among the biggest actor, well paid, into 2.5 Men series or show, if you have not that one. Charlie Sheen impregnated one woman, and that woman had twin boys, whatever, had twin children. Those 2 children, each one was paid or is getting paid up to now $50,000 per month. So for 2, the woman receives a check of 100,000 per month. Remember, they make that determination based on the income you have. So if the income is 1 million per month, let's say they take 100,000, it will be that amount for the next 18 years. And if the money goes up, the more child support you are going to pay. Remember, the children in Western world are children are based on the mother's side. Yes, you'll get custody unless either the woman is going to be proven is unfit, but you can be able to support on whatever, helping the mother and whatever, so you can get 40%, whatever certain percent, unless otherwise is 50-50, that is when you can run away from what? Paying the child support. But in this situation, the mother plus the children are very, very young. They will be staying with the mother, and Hakimi will pay big child support for the next 18 years. And if you don't pay child support, boom, in jail. It's no joke in this world. So this is what I'm trying to explain. While you can see this guy is a hero in whatever you think you are thinking about, but in Western world, they will find every single way, whether it's going to pay the tax right, whether it's trying to evade the tax, whether the money you are going to send in your country, are you going to claim? Remember, if I'm in the US, if I have a bank account and a certain money in Tanzania, I have to report with IRS when I'm doing some filing. Is no joke. These countries, you can go and do a very big crime and not go to prison. But if you run away from the taxing, that is a big issue. When you come to the rights of women, don't play around. You might end your career. Just think about Kim Kardashian is a billionaire, but still Kanye West pays child support to Kim Kardashian. So there is no way to run around this one. If you don't want to do this, don't come to live in these countries. If you want to come to live in these countries, Western world, please, my friend, you must adhere to their laws and regulations. You cannot come with a trick of in Tanzania, African trick to play in Western world. These tricks have been done many years ago. They have made so many rules and regulations the way to ban this kind of situation. Because if that is the case, why Bill Gates distributed the money with the wife? Why? Because people say, oh, Melinda and Bill Gates, they got married, they stayed for 27 years. But remember, the day they got married in the year 1994, going to 1995, Bill Gates was number 5 billionaire in the world. Remember that. So all the money Bill Gates got from 9 billion back in the time to today, the money after the marriage, they split 50-50, not the money before. So do you think Bill Gates was not stupid to put the money to his mother? It cannot work that way. These people, yes, there is so many ways to evade it, to legally lower down the tax or running away from these kind of things. But just to put the money, just putting the salary to your account of your mother is just any other account. It's just like me having 2 different accounts. There is no problem. I had 2 accounts. I was putting 60% on one of my account, 40% on another account. But that doesn't take that. That was not my money. It's my money. And if I give the money, give. But if you give the person to hold the money for you, it's just like putting it in another bank. So the money is still yours, even if that salary goes to your mother. The mother doesn't play for PSG. The mother is not in the contract with the PSG. Yes, it's just a bank account, just like any other bank account. That PSG is going to assume that way. They put on any account you want them to give, they'll give you that way. But if you want to give the charity, there is charitable status, there is a procedure in this world. So that's my 2 cents on this issue, that when you go to this world, don't try to outsmart things in our thinking. Oh, yes, I live with my mother. I love my mother. If I do this one, but it can come to backfire you in this Western world. That is my opinion on this one. And I'll be here, I believe 100%, when this issue is going to be resolved in the court, the woman will get certain amount for the 2 years they've been married together, and she'll get a big check on a monthly basis when the child support is going to be determined. In addition to that, remember the woman is $3 million net worth on her own. She was 2 million before they met with the guy, and now she's not like a person with no money to get a good lawyer. No, she's a millionaire too. So that is what my 2 cents on this issue.